biggest business winner for 2025? What's your prediction?
So I feel like we're at a really interesting inflection point that is going to make 2025 the year of autonomous hardware or robotics. If 2024 was the year of kind of compute build out and the rollout of AI systems in software, I think 2025 will be the year of the robot. There's a company, we just placed an order today, actually, out of China called Unitree. Gavin, have you looked at this company?
Yeah, it's pretty wild, actually.
It's an incredible business, incredible product. So their GO2 robot is $1,600, has an API. Here it is. You can run a payload on it. It's got LiDAR on it. It's got kind of intelligence guidance systems on it. This is the robot system that was used on some of those videos we looked at earlier this year where there were machine guns mounted to the back, and it was basically a new kind of field soldier. It's an autonomous field soldier. But really, you can use it in scientific applications. We're looking at using them in our on our test farms, where it can wander the farm and take images and report data back to us. And it's such a low cost at like less than $3,000. You can do some incredible things with it. So this business just raised a couple $100 million last month from mostly Chinese investors. It's a Chinese company. And I think that there's going to be, other similar type businesses. It kind of takes a long time for things to work, and then all of a sudden they happen faster than you could have ever imagined. I think this is going to be the year where we're all going to look at humanoid robots and autonomous systems and be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is here. So this could be the year of the big rollouts. What a good choice.
It's such a great, strong choice for the biggest winner. And I think the quote you're looking for is, how did you go bankrupt? Slowly and then all at once. That's how these technology changes. And man, I would love to have one of these for the ranch to just run around and do the perimeter security.
Sorry, Nick, pull up you guys got to watch this if you haven't seen it. Nick, find the video of the GO2 with the wheels on it, managing terrain.
Oh, yes.
And everyone thought this was a BS video, that it was like CGI, wasn't real. It was AI generated. But like, this thing is just incredible. Here it is. This is a real video of this thing.
Yeah. And it can learn from an LLM too, right? Like a large language model could teach it how to do something. Yeah.
Gavin, is this real? Like, what's your sense of this?
Real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get the G1, which is their humanoid robot.
Yeah. So pull up the humanoid. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a little more expensive.
Yeah. But
yeah. I mean, $16,000 is the cost of a used Prius. Let's be honest. That's in spitting distance of being affordable for the middle class. So here's the G1.
Look at this thing. 16 grand. And this thing, you can basically command it to do things for you in your house, or in your factory, or in your workplace.
Oh, come on. I knew you would do it. Oh, come on. I was going to say, maybe we could get a poker dealer. Maybe Bo, I wonder if this thing could deal cards or open wine.
Do you guys remember that robot that was on stage for our All-In Holiday Spectacular?
The X1.
That company?
1X?
So my brother made an observation. He said, as soon as that robot came out, it's like everyone just wanted to abuse it. He's like, humans have this very interesting nature where like the robot emerges and all that humans want to do is like hurt the robot. It's like a very strange revelation of human behavior. Yeah, like it's like, oh, here's something I could dominate. Here's something I can tell it what to do and control it. Well, that's because we're so threatened by it. We want to make sure that we're the top of the species here, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be for much longer. I mean, these things will kick our ass pretty soon. Anyway, these things are amazing. I think this is going to be the year of the robots. That's my prediction.
Year of the robots is your prediction. I love it. Gavin, what do you got?
Profoundly agree. I think year of the robots, inclusive of FSD. I think FSD works today, and it's gonna cross into mainstream adoption, where I already notice, particularly if I'm taking an Uber late at night, I really, really prefer to have a Tesla. Just sometimes you get an Uber driver who's tired. And I just feel a lot safer if they have the FSD running. And then obviously using it for yourself is amazing. But I think it's going to continue compounding at an accelerating rate. I think in a lot of ways, what I'd say broadly is, I think for a while, it's going to be big businesses are winners. Big businesses that use AI thoughtfully. And the reason is that with what is happening, what O3 showed us, OpenAI's new model, a combination of reasoning and test time compute. Like, I think if you're a big business and you can pay $1 million to let an AI think for 6 weeks about the most important question for your business, that's going to be a profound advantage relative to small businesses that can't afford that. And by the way, we are the other, like, inference compute is going to be the kind of derivative winner of that. We're going to run out of GPUs, accelerators, compute in 2025 the same way we did in 23.
Okay, so you're also long Nvidia and chip makers, Grok, et cetera, because we're finding new uses for all that compute.
Absolutely.
Nvidia on January 6th, Nvidia's shares jumped by an additional 9%, dwarfing the S&P 500's progress for the year and creating an almost viral level of interest among market-efficient autos. The semiconductor titan has been making waves in the stock market, soaring with a startling 171% gain in 2024 alone, leaving investors both amazed and hesitant. However, beneath the surface of this incredible run, there is a crucial question. Is the current stock value of Nvidia a sign of impending obstacles for investors or a gateway to new opportunities? So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, so if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video.
Biggest business winner of 2025 are going to be dollar-denominated stablecoins.
Ooh.
I'll make 2 points. In 2024, 2 critical things happened. The first is that stablecoins essentially became uncoupled from crypto volatility, and it started to be used for wholesale useful functions in running businesses. And there's an image here that starts to show that. So independent of crypto volatility, what you saw were stablecoin usage just rising up and to the right. That's an incredibly important decoupling that happened in 2024. The second, and this data is still just trickling in, but it's an incredible stat. Stablecoin usage at the end of the second quarter of 2024 was about 1.1 billion transactions that summed to $8.5 trillion of transaction volume. If you compare that to Visa over the same period, it was more than double Visa's transaction volume. So I think what we have now is something that has fundamentally crossed a point of no return. Similar to how last year I thought that the big trend was going to be Bitcoin in 2024, I would say that the big trend in 25 is stablecoin usage. I think we're going to finally attack the duopoly of Visa and MasterCard. I think you're going to see an innumerable number of use cases that sit and use stablecoin rails. I think when Donald Trump becomes president, I think you're going to see him go after incredibly high credit card transactions and costs. You're already seeing cracks in consumer credit anyways because of these high APRs. All of this stuff is going to come to a head in 2025, I think. And I think stablecoins could quadruple or quintuple by the end of 25. I think it's just going to be an enormous market.
Great choice. Should they be regulated, Chamath? We saw at some of these congressional hearings, Tether was kind of dragged for being the primary transfer and monetary tool for terrorism, for getting around sanctions, and for human trafficking. Should it be regulated? And how?
I don't think I'm qualified to say how it should, but I think the point is that there are these immutable logs that sit in between and on either side of all of these transactions. And so I think the knowledge is there, and there are a whole bunch of third-party services that add that intelligence layer. I think the thing to really question is, if you just took 300 basis points of drag
Yes.
out of the global economy,
Massive gains.
how valuable would that be? And I think it would be valuable just in the United States alone to the tune of $1 trillion. So the idea that you wouldn't do it at this point is somewhat quizzical to me. So I just think that the economic justification for this now is just so.
Data center an incredible 112% year-over-year gain in revenue, a key factor in Nvidia's success, gave the business the impetus it needed to meet the growing demand for AI. During an earnings call, CEO Jensen Huang discussed the dynamic shift that is taking place and pointed out that the age of AI is rapidly approaching. The market's cyclical nature provides a backdrop where Nvidia, despite being unmatched, must continuously outrun rivals to keep dissent at bay. Investing in Nvidia stocks may feel like betting on a cosmic race where even stellar performers face gravitational pull. This sentiment is echoed by investments bubbling globally, from enterprises improving workflows to nations prioritizing AI as a cornerstone of infrastructure. Recent analysis and investor sentiment have reflected prevailing optimism tempered with caution. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now, let's dive into today's video.
The video. Nvidia is trying to get a bounce back after the rout that it had yesterday. That was the worst day in months for the stocks in September. CES now in the rear view. How am I thinking about trades like that today?
Yeah, no. So I mean, obviously for Nvidia, I think the big thing for me, as forget about CES for a second. The last 6 months has been relatively flat for Nvidia, right? There hasn't really been a seismic move there. There was a lack of, not necessarily innovation talk, but what is the here and now? What's going to happen in the near term? And I think that was, somewhat of a letdown, and that's why the stock kind of traded lower. But when I think about semis broadly, I start to think about, and I continue to love the Nvidia story, but we're hearing from the hyperscalers, we're hearing more about them developing their own chips, their proprietary chips. So I start to broaden out my scope in the semi space and start to think about some of the companies like Broadcom, companies like Marvell that are doing custom made chips, that I think that those names could kind of get a nice run here coming in the over the next couple quarters. So for me, I don't think that the tech trade is disrupted terribly. I just think that CES was a little bit of a downer.
If I could on Nvidia, I said the other day that I believe that the keynote address would lead to a new all-time high. Check the box. Got the new all-time high. That's not me patting myself on the back. No, because guess what? No foul.
Data center an incredible 112% year-over-year gain in revenue, a key factor in Nvidia's success, gave the business the impetus it needed to meet the growing demand for AI. During an earnings call, CEO Jensen Huang discussed the dynamic shift that is taking place and pointed out that the age of AI is rapidly approaching. The market's cyclical nature provides a backdrop where Nvidia, despite being unmatched, must continuously outrun rivals to keep dissent at bay. Investing in Nvidia stocks may feel like betting on a cosmic race where even stellar performers face gravitational pull. This sentiment is echoed by investments bubbling globally, from enterprises improving workflows to nations prioritizing AI as a cornerstone of infrastructure. Recent analysis and investor sentiment have reflected prevailing optimism tempered with caution. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now, let's dive into today's video.
This year, goes to CES, he, gives his keynote and the stock goes up, and in the subsequent 2 days, it goes up more and it stays up. So it was sort of telegraphed that the stock was going to go up. It did into the event, but it didn't stay there.
Didn't stay there. You didn't get the follow through. And let's kind of walk through that and explain how I think the viewers need to manage or shape the risk surrounding yesterday's move. It's very rare to see a stock trade to an all-time intraday high and then close challenging the 50-day moving average. You can't ignore that. That has significance. I think that there also is an element that you have to acknowledge that Nvidia, despite all its strong fundamentals, the stock has been gamified. When you have all these ETFs that are double levered and you have exposure of algorithms participating, I think a lot of that contributed to what you saw yesterday. So if you're a buyer up at 150, or if you're a buyer up near those intraday highs, you have to take a look at where price is today and understand the momentum in the near term is down. And I know that's not something that is normally said, because most people say, okay, and Jim Cramer is right, own Nvidia as a core holding, don't trade around it. But there are a lot of people that are trading around Nvidia. There's a lot of tactical elements surrounding Nvidia. And let's just acknowledge that what I expected to happen did not happen, and now the momentum is rolled over. You've got negative momentum in the near term. It doesn't wash away the long-term strong fundamentals of this company and the belief that you want to own it for the long term, and it will make a new all-time.
Finally, with its current position hinting at both extraordinary potential and inherent concerns, Nvidia is at an interesting crossroads. Astute investors balance Nvidia's ongoing growth and dominance against the cyclicality of the semiconductor industry, understanding that high valuations like these frequently encourage volatility. At this point in time, Nvidia is portrayed as a powerhouse addressing artificial intelligence's ravenous appetite, with projections indicating a promising but speculative trajectory. Across the joy, shadows dance. Nvidia continues to dominate investing discussions thanks to the appeal of its unparalleled technological advancements. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.